Welcome back to another episode of the House Husband Diaries. As always, I am your host, Carter. And today we are on to clue number 5 in Forrest, Fenn's The Thrill of the Chase. Clue number 5 is, or as I do, it's line number 5, is from there, it's no place for the meek. And I guess as a quick ode to Cal Lazar's and K-Pro, coffee with Cal. Got to do this, get it over the boom. Got, see that there? Copper Rock Coffee Company from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Had the opportunity to go up to Lambeau Field in Green Bay last October to catch a Monday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers and stop by Copper Brewing Company, something. They have Copper Rock coffee, sweet mug. So there you go, K-Pro and Cal. So there, coffee with you guys. Now on to clue 5. From there, it's no place for the meek. And I kind of split it up into 3 parts. From there, and then and then no place for the meek. From there, I only have 2 options, really, and really, it would be where you put in the creek, put in below the home of Brown. You've already put in. If you take the boating reference, the water, then it's where you put in to water. You put in below the home of Brown, and then from there, it's no place for the meek. So going down river, going, if you put in across, it didn't really say cross, it just said put in, which if you take that boating reference and you'd be on water. Forrest said he's not, the treasure isn't in water, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to go into water and then go down the river. He might have said something about that. I think some people might have, I don't know how people have gotten in trouble, but maybe it was hypothermia, getting into a cold river or something. So I don't really believe in that or agree with that one, but just figured I'd cover all my bases. And then the second one that I could come up with is just really just an entrance to a path or entrance to the path where Forrest went to hide the treasure. It's just from there. If there's something else, it could be, I guess the third one is just whatever your put in spot is. If it's something that I haven't thought of in the last video, I really don't know. Like I said, in I think it was the ground rules video, the first one, or maybe the second one, it just matters very little this far down in the clues, because if you don't have the right where warm water's halt, you haven't taken it in the canyon down, not far but too far to walk, and you haven't put in below the home of Brown, doesn't really matter. So we're getting a little far away, but I'm still making the videos for each one of the clues, each one of the 9 lines, and then we'll do like a whole poem or start doing themes and stuff later. So just covering my bases now, and then it is. I take it's still the treasure hunt, the path. That's sort of my interpretation of it is. It could be life. Who knows? And then no place for the meek. I mean, really, meek is spiritless or tame. So if it's no place for tame or the spiritless, you need to have some sort of wild bravado, some sort of alpha. I think Forrest uses alpha like twice in TTOTC, once with Skippy turning alpha or something, and then one with the teacher, I think. It might be more, but I think it's those 2. And so maybe, there's no place for the spiritless and the tame. You have to be have some bravery in going in there. And then with that, it could be called brave path of the brave, something. It could just mean you're brave if you're outdoors. A lot of people don't want to go camping or hiking because they're timid. worried about bears, snakes. I think you have scorpions down in the Southwest, which we don't have here in North Kakalaka. But yeah, it could be outdoors. It could be, something that has to do with just Native Americans. No place for the meek. It's a Native American place of importance. And then the last one that I thought might be interesting. I talked to someone at the Raleigh meetup. I don't remember who had said this, but they were talking about, what kind of land do we think it's on, or I don't know. There was some talk about that, and I'd really like to hear more about people doing research on the land. Maybe I'll try to tackle that. K-Pro, I know we had talked, and it gets really complicated and stuff, but it might be fun to do a video on that. I don't think anybody's done a comprehensive video on types of land, but this person at the Raleigh meetup really thought it was on private land, and I was just like, I don't think so. But that was playing around in the back of my mind, and another one of the definitions for meek is submissive or compliant. And we all know that Forrest hates the government or dislikes the government or doesn't trust the government and rules. And he jumps out of windows during class, all those kinds of things. So maybe it has something to do with not being submissive or compliant. And what better way to break the rules than to get to a point where you have to cross onto private land, or you have to cross into something. So from there, it's no place for the meek, because you have to make a decision to cross over into a piece of land or a place that maybe you shouldn't be in. I don't know. I know there's legal consequences, so I think Forrest would be up for that if it was just, hey, let's be adventurous. But I think it's been said that he spent a lot of money with lawyers making sure that whoever found the treasure would have as little legal trouble as possible claiming it and it being theirs. And I don't think, unless it's private land that he owns, that his estate owns after he dies, that will not get passed on to someone else, or if that land does get passed on to someone else, there's a contract with that someone else, and they know that treasure is on their land, and they're just completely lip sealed about it. I just don't see it being on private land, because you're gonna have to say where you got it. You could lie. You could say, oh, I got it here. Maybe. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem like that holds water. But it's an interesting idea, and maybe it's not private land. Maybe it's some other kind of land. And like I said, out in North Carolina, we just don't have the kinds of land out west. It just doesn't seem, we're just kind of, everything in the east and the southeast and northeast was divvied up a long time ago. That's why our states are so much smaller, and we don't have quite as much national land in the east, because it was all private a long time ago. So those are kind of my thoughts on clue number 5, line number 5. From there, it's no place for the meek. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If I hit anything that you liked, if I'm way off, if there's something I haven't thought of, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's cool to share in the chase, and really part of the thrill of the chase is just being able to hear what all of you interesting people have to say, and what your imaginations, what directions your imaginations lead you. So with that, we'll end, and we'll see you on the next episode.